Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to our virtual run podcast series. I'm Ben Bring, the medical director for the Capital City half and quarter marathon sponsored by Ohio Health. Here today with our another content expert, Jeff Henderson, who's going to talk to us today about how do we get fitted for some running shoes and what are some common mistakes and pitfalls that you might run into both as a new runner and as an experienced runner. So Jeff, thanks so much for coming on today. So tell me, for a new runner that's looking to get a new pair of shoes, what's the best way to go through that process, would you say?
Well, first, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a new runner or walker and you're looking for a new pair of shoes, it's really crucial to actually get fit for a pair of shoes that are going to work with your body. Mm-hmm. There is a big difference between the different types of shoes out there, and so having something that's going to work with your biomechanics is going to be beneficial.
That's great. Yeah, so can you talk to us about the different types of shoes that you may want to look into? I know some of my patients ask me, well, how do I know, maybe what brand do I go to, or do I need more cushion? Do I need more support? Or
Sure.
Maybe more, I know the minimalist shoes were very popular a couple years ago.
Yeah, cushion support, the minimalist side of things, it's all very much unique to the individual. I think one of the biggest mistakes we see out of folks is that they go and buy the shoes that their friends said worked well for them. And your feet aren't the same as my feet.
Mm-hmm.
My feet aren't the same as yours. And, you may love a shoe, but it may not work with my mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
So being evaluated to see pronation, which is a rotation of the foot, and different types of shoes interact with that differently. And that's going to affect everything from your feet through your shins, your knees, your hips, and your lower back. So there's two different classifications of shoes, loosely said anyways, of a more supportive nature and what's known as neutral. And that depends on the amount of pronation that you have. Within those categories, then there's also how much support they're going to provide, how much cushioning there is. And so really that's what we're here for, is to help guide folks through that process, finding something that's going to work with their mechanics, but also fit and feel great.
That's great. So walk us through sort of like that fitting process. I know I've done it here a couple of times myself. I think the first time I came in here, actually, I found out I was about a half size too big a couple years ago, and so I had been actually getting blisters, and until I figured out to come in here to get fitted for shoes. So can you kind of walk us through what that fitting process looks like?
Absolutely. So our fit process, first and foremost, we have a conversation. We want to learn about what the needs are, what their goals are. And then from there, the actual fit process itself is we do a video gait analysis. So we use Dartfish, which is analytical software that we can take a video of somebody walking or jogging on the treadmill and point out angles of what's going on with the amount of pronation and how that affects everything from the foot, ankle, knee, hip, and lower back. We also do a 3D scan of the foot with our Fit ID software, and effectively what that is there's 4 infrared cameras. They take a zillion photos of the foot and give us a whole slew of measurements along with a 3D model of the foot. Every foot is a different shape, every shoe is a different shape, and that all helps us kind of mesh the biomechanics and the shape of the foot to get people into the right shape and size of shoe.
Yeah, so we're kind of in an interesting time right now of a global pandemic, and I know we've kind of talked about the running is not canceled hashtag. Can you kind of speak to that? I know personally just being out and doing my daily runs and seeing a lot more individuals out on the roads, just kind of what you've seen over the past couple of months, and talk about the running is not canceled movement.
Well, the running community is a pretty special community as it is. It's a very close-knit, very supportive community, and running is not canceled kind of popped up in March. We started talking about that element that running is not canceled. There's a lot of things that are canceled right now, but you can get out there, and whether it's for your physical fitness, your mental wellness, whatever that is, getting out there and moving can make a world of difference in just how your day is going to go. And then the running is not canceled community has been this great uplifting source of encouragement, motivation, holding people accountable. There's, I don't know, and the Facebook group that we've got has probably like 5,200 people, I think, in it as of last count.
Fun to watch,
that are they're just there to motivate each other and keep each other moving forward.
Yeah, that's great, and especially I know a lot of the races right now are virtual, so that was kind of what sparked this series. So, kind of looking ahead, to the winter months, what are some other things you could recommend for some runners? Maybe some extra gear that you guys might have here in the store. Hats, gloves, things like that might be able to help protect runners and also keep them active. Even as the temperatures drop, still being able to get out there and run.
Yeah, absolutely. Having proper gear is lends to success. You know, whether it's shoes or gloves, hats, gloves, you name it. A little bit of a departure from your direct question, but one of the things that we've found is when you invest in something, you're going to hold yourself more accountable. Buying proper gear is a big piece of that. You can go buy a $5 pair of gloves, but are they going to really keep your hands warm? We want to make sure that folks are wearing moisture wicking items. In the winter months, something with wind and water resistant outer, maybe a wool component to it to again help with warmth. Every person's different though, just like your feet. Everybody's internal thermostat is a little bit different. My wife gets much more cold than I do. I'm like a toaster oven at all times, so I may not need as many layers as you might need outside. So a little bit of that is experimenting. Layers are the way to go though. So that way, if you need to shed something, you're not having to like take off a big cotton sweatshirt. You're taking off a lightweight layer that you can pack away possibly. So we have jackets that can pack away into their own pocket. Zip shirts and lightweight tees, all of which are engineered to help get moisture away from your body and manage temperature, whether it's hot or cold. It's about managing your body temperature and keeping you comfortable.
That's great. And then sort of just like a final question, what's probably the most common mistake you see? Obviously we're recommending, getting fit for shoes. Are there any other common mistakes you'll see runners make, or things that you could even recommend with your expertise on maybe how to prevent injuries? I know typically in our office we'll see a lot of lower extremity injuries. Is there anything runners can do to help prevent that?
Well, a little bit of a loaded question, but first and foremost is getting fit for an appropriate pair of shoes. There are a lot of great shoes out there, and again, I think the biggest mistake we see is, my friend loves it, it's going to work great for me. That unfortunately doesn't work. Our bodies are all very much unique. The other thing, I think, just kind of an easy piece of advice is everything in moderation. Running and walking should be a release. It should be fun. It shouldn't be something that you feel like you have to go out every day. That takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
If you end up going out every day and you love it, great. But don't feel like you have to be like getting out the door each and every day, or that you have to hit a certain amount of mileage, or that you have to go at a certain pace. As long as you're getting out the door, putting one foot in front of the other, that's what it's about.
Yeah,
just in moderation. I like to use the analogy of like when I'm stretching. I don't stretch until it hurts. I stretch until I can feel it, and it feels good. Same thing with my run. I'm going to run until I'm done running.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and run 10 miles every day just
Right.
because somebody told me to.
Right.
I'm going to run until my body is ready to be done for the day.
And for some people like me, usually I hit that point at about a mile or two. And for some more experienced runners, I know we had Amy on. She may have to run 10 miles to kind of hit that point there. So come see Jeff and his team here at Fleet Feet on Lane Avenue or up at Polaris too. You want to talk about the locations?
Yeah,
a little
so
bit as well?
we've got a location here. We're in our Upper Arlington store, 1344 West Lane Avenue. We also have one on East Powell, which is technically Polaris Parkway, about halfway between the mall and Route 23, and soon to come in New Albany.
That's exciting news. Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll look forward to the next one.